Where was this force when thousands of Malians of Burkina Faso died under the bullets of terrorists?
Young lion of the Sahel, the soldier of sovereignty, in a movement that sent a shockwave across West Africa. President Captain Ibrahim Traoré stood before ECOWAS and the world and delivered a message that could not be ignored. This is what he said: "Distinguished leaders of West Africa, I stand here today not as a mere head of state, but as a son of Africa, born from her soil, baptized by her struggle, and entrusted by her people to speak the truth no matter how bitter." This house, ECOWAS, was meant to be a shield for our nations, a union of brothers, a wall against foreign domination. But what have we become? When our people cry, do we listen? When our lands are looted, do we rise, or do we gather in silence, tied down by puppets, driven by foreign interests, hidden behind polished suits while our children die in the dust? They say we are military leaders. They say we took power by force. But I ask you, what is more violent than watching your people suffer while you stay loyal to those who enslave your economies? What is more unconstitutional than ECOWAS standing by while bombs fall on our villages? While missionaries destabilize Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, supported by the same powers who built the chains of colonialism. We did not seize power to cling to it. We rose because no one else would. We are not here to beg. We are here to rebuild. ECOWAS was not created to serve France. It was not built to echo Western commands. It was made to defend Africa. But today, it has failed. You threaten us with sanctions. You isolate our nation. You call us rogue states. Yet you say nothing about the military bases in our backyard or the billion-dollar theft of our gold, our uranium, our oil. Let me be clear. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, we are not leaving ECOWAS because we hate unity. We are leaving because ECOWAS has forgotten its purpose. We believe in Pan-Africanism. We believe in African unity, but not under chains, not under fear, not under orders from embassies in Paris, Washington, or Brussels. To the people of West Africa, your future is in your hands. The youth are awakened. The winds of change are irreversible. We will build our own institution, our own currency, our own alliances, not out of hatred, but out of necessity. Long live the dignity of African people, long live our sovereign nations, and long live a true, free, and independent Africa. With these words, Captain Ibrahim Traoré didn't just challenge ECOWAS. He challenged the system, and the people are listening. These are some of the words of Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. He stood tall and defiant, bold, in front of ECOWAS leaders and made a message that could not be ignored. After then, he returned to his own country, Burkina Faso, and stood before his people and educates them on how the system is being run by ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is being a puppet to the world and Western leaders. He also educates his people on how they should know the truth. Let's listen to his speech in Burkina Faso, where he emphasized the importance of sovereignty, the importance of independence, the importance of aligning with people that see them as human beings, not as a playground, not as slaves, but as brothers. His speech was educative, challenging, and powerful that all the world leaders could not ignore.
Where was this force when thousands of Malians of Burkina Faso died under the bullets of terrorists? Here, we will explain why we left the ECOWAS and where we are going. Remember that it was in 1975 that it was created, and it was created for the majority of state leaders, putschists, as they like to say. It was the military who took the power and took the responsibility to create ECOWAS so that there is a real economic growth of the people inside this space. Later, the so-called Democrats invited themselves to the heads of our states. They completely emptied the community of its foundation. When on July 26th, Niger decided to take its destiny into their own hands, we were surprised to see ECOWAS appear after some days with a force awaiting. Where was this force when thousands and thousands of Nigerians were killed by terrorists? Where was this force when thousands of Malians of Burkina Faso died under the bullets of terrorists? They said that by force they were going to evict the valiant sons of Niger who took the destiny into their own hands. Do you think that these are women who are in Niger? There are fighters there. The Nigerian army are warriors. They have been fighting for years. It is not a parade army or a peacekeeping army. And the armies of the ECOWAS have decided to unite. We are waiting for this force. These so-called Democrats must understand that when thousands of Nigerians die in hospital beds due to lack of electricity or lack of medication, it is a crime.
C'est du crime. Ils sont responsables de ces sanctions, ils sont responsables de ces morts.
They are responsible for these sanctions. They are responsible for these deaths. The same thing happens in Mali. With Burkina Faso, we have indirect sanctions. Because people must understand that when they take their orders from the other side, they come and do everything to apply it. It is shameful. Some have decided not to provide electricity to our countries. It is not free. We pay. And it contributes to their economy. They tried to make Mali suffer, and of course by ignoring all the texts and not giving electricity to Mali, hoping that the population would revolt. It didn't work. When it lasted, some were forced to make their own people pay by increasing the cost of electricity. It will increase again. This gives us several lessons. Several lessons in the sense that the independence we take, the sovereignty we take, we must do everything for it to be. They gave us very good lessons, and we understood them very well. Some closed their ports, which goes against all international texts, because you can't close a port in a landlocked country. They did it. They violated the texts. The international community didn't say a word. No one spoke in the ECOWAS. But in the ports, we don't let our goods pass for free. We pay. And those who do it collect the broken pots today. And I think it's a lesson for them too, that we must never apply the instructions of their masters. They must understand it forever. The ECOWAS never made a statement to congratulate a victory of our armies. The ECOWAS only condemns the end of the world, and very rarely when there are massacres. Where is this ECOWAS of peoples? In short, we can't mention all the harm that was done to our peoples, but we have decided with all our heart and conscience to withdraw and focus on our common organization, which is AES. Why are you afraid? Remember that there is no fear, because by prospecting and putting us to work, we have noticed one thing. Recently, some have decided to prohibit the export of certain food products to Burkina Faso. Very well. They have given a deadline. We will ensure that at the end of this deadline, we will prohibit the entry of these products into our territory. We are capable. We are capable, and we are very capable. We have had a lot of experience this year, and I can assure you that in terms of food, Burkina Faso can be self-sufficient, and we have brave peasants. We will put everything in place so that our peasants can work their land and cultivate it with dignity. And I challenge anyone who doubts this, that if we decide today in Burkina Faso to be the first exporter of cocoa in 3 or 5 years, we will be. Because we can. On industrialization, several projects are underway for 2024. We are not going to quote them here, but we are going to do everything we can to make this project happen in 2024. When you talk about the economy, some people, when you listen to them, feel pity. They don't even have the courage to make the people understand that there is less than 5% of economic exchange between the states of the ECOWAS. Because everything we export comes from the space outside the ECOWAS, our imports for the majority. And everything we export comes from outside the ECOWAS. The intellectual dishonesty of some makes them unable to say it, because they are slaves. They can't tell you that so that you can be confident. But I invite you to remain confident, serene, unperturbed, because we can. We can have this independence, both in terms of food and in terms of industry. It is possible, and we are on this path. So, the words that tend to scare you, that tend to sow panic, you have to leave them. We will get to work, and we will get there. And to finish, I call on all the people of the AES, through you, to remain united and united. All suffering has an end. The struggle that we have engaged in is hard, but you have to keep your head on your shoulders, because the fatal weapon of imperialism is still manipulation through communication.
L'arme fatale de l'impérialisme reste la manipulation à travers la communication. Sachez reconnaître les valets locaux.
Know how to recognize the local valets. Know how to recognize the slaves of the saloon. Know how to recognize everything that we owe you to come and sell you false information.
Pour vous-même, restez serein et ne vous divisez pas.
For yourself, remain calm and do not divide yourself. Because imperialism has 1,000 tricks up its sleeve. You have to be vigilant, vigilant and very vigilant. Thank you, the VDP, of the different cities that watch day and night so that our country remains standing. So pay tribute every day to the FDF and the VDP who fight on the front. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you to all those who have moved here to entertain us. Thank you to those who are outside, who have not been able to access to come in. It is homeland or death.